Look who it is. We're tuning in together.
Thank you for being with us. Feel home already because we will have some of the most transparent conversations.
Hey, we know that deep conversations are not always comfortable, but guess what? We have come across a safe place where we will be 100% open.
We will touch every angle of that unique thought, question, and untold story that can automatically impact the season and journey you are walking. Remember, we are not doing life alone. Now it is time to step aside to be who you are and say what you feel.
Make sure to stop by every week. This is Engel's podcast with
Santi
Santi and Steph. All right, welcome to Engel's podcast. I'm here with Steph, the student.
Steph, the student.
Steph, the student.
The student.
How are you doing, Steph?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for having me as your guest today.
So today we're gonna do something different. Today it's about school. Today it's about talking about graduation.
Graduation. I think it's, just above graduation. I told Santi we have to do an episode on what graduating is, on what being a college student is. Not disregarding people who didn't go to college or who are not attending a university, but it's just a huge chapter in your life that changes your mentality in many ways. And students go through so much that I think if I got to graduate, it was all because of God. And we're going to go into detail of how it is to be graduated, how successful you are. And, but yes, I'm here. And thank you for having me, Santi.
Yeah. Unlike me, Stephanie did graduate. It was last year. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm class of 2020. I graduated May 2020.
Maybe let's refresh that. Your class of pandemic. Class of COVID-19. Class without
right
ceremony. Class without a party. What? People?
Oh gosh.
Are we serious?
Yes.
You were expecting that for all the years that you were in college, right?
Oh my gosh. I can tell you, I would see, like, when you log into your library website, you have like this little slideshow through the end of the semester when people walk on stage. And me, just by seeing that slideshow, I would tear up. I was just counting the days for graduation, like counting the days for, to walk on stage. And because walking on stage has a huge meaning. I mean, we're going to talk about it right now, but yes, it was so heartbreaking to not being able to walk on stage.
Absolutely. And I actually want to acknowledge you too, because I know it wasn't easy, right? And I'm sure for people who are studying right now in anything, any major or whatever it is, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of timing.
Oh yes, it takes a lot of effort. It's just above than just going to school. You have to deal with personal stuff, and then you have to deal with being strong mentally, not sleeping, getting sick, working. I was working 2 jobs, and I was a full-time student. And then my senior year, I had 2 jobs plus an internship, and I was a full-time student.
Wow.
I don't know how I didn't. I can say I did get sick a lot. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, we met when you were in school, right?
Yeah, we met my junior year, I think.
Yeah, and
a lot of distraction with you.
Yes, she couldn't get anything done, so she had to pay people.
I was like, oh no, I did not have to pay people. Yeah, I had to pay people to buy me Starbucks and stay awake.
Right.
Yes. It was insane. So you haven't asked me what school did I go to, but I'm going to share.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. What school did you go to?
I went to Cal State, LA.
Shout out to Cal State LA students.
Let's go Eagles.
Hey.
Here you guys. Proof, okay?
It's true.
Class of 2020, Cal State LA.
Right.
Eagles, let's go.
By the way, I
Um,
love your what is that called? I
my
totally
cap
forget.
and
Your
gown.
cap and gown.
Mhm.
It's very
Yes.
beautiful.
Thank you.
My
Thank you.
father took pictures of you.
Yes, go
Yeah.
check it out on my Instagram.
Yeah.
He's
Can we
amazing.
post pictures on the
Yeah,
podcast?
let's
All
do
right.
it. If you want, I think this is the first time you see me with my cap
Yeah,
and
I
gown.
think
I
so.
mean, I didn't walk on stage.
I feel so undressed right now. Yeah, comparing to you, but
I know.
congratulations.
Thank you, babe. Thank you so much. It was a long journey. But, anyways, going to like, going briefly, we're not going to take long. A lot of people know how college is really hard. But going briefly into choosing your major, what I feel like now after graduating,
Yeah,
my goodness. Okay, so let me start off. It's more of like a
go
talk
ahead.
today,
Yeah,
more than
yeah,
an interview. We're gonna interview each other.
sure.
But look, when I started school,
Mhm.
I'm gonna start from like when I started school, how I ended school. When I started school, I'm first generation in my family. It was, first of all, I wanted to go to a community college. There's nothing wrong about doing that. But anyways, my friends were like, Steph, just jump into the university.
Yeah,
Might as well just do it. I said, cool. I get financial aid. So
yeah,
I don't have to pay extra like other students do. And that's why they go to
yeah.
a community college. Anyways, it's a lot of technical stuff. But so I'm first generation. And when I started going to college,
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but I know my mom's dream was always for me to go to college. That was
Right.
always like for her. She wanted me to have a career and get that career, um bachelor's,
Yeah.
but in my head, what I had when I was going to college is I said, okay, I know it's going to be really hard because that's what I would hear all the time, and it was super hard. Like I say, if it wasn't because of God, I would have not graduated. And I'm here to not that I'm Miss Stephanie, Miss Perfect, that knows everything, but I want to save your life. And the reason why I really like took this out and dressed up is not to show off how I look, is because I'm so like um into helping people in the sense of like, please, before you choose a major, please know what you're doing, okay? Like that's I'm here to please like save your life somehow. Um I'm gonna share with you guys what I'm going through like now in this moment,
Go ahead.
last week, this week,
Go
and
ahead.
ever since I graduated. But going back, I went to school. I can tell you every semester that I was in school, if it wasn't because of God, I would not be here. Why? Because there was moments where I just would say, my goodness, I can't take this anymore. I wanted to drop the towel and I just wanted to give up. But if you give your 100%, you are dedicated, you are responsible, you take this as your priority, you know how to
Yeah.
balance your life, you know how to do agendas, you're going to be okay. Don't give up. I say this, if I was able to do it, first generation in my family, my parents didn't go to school. I think my mom, the furthest she went, it was, I think, sixth grade in school. Um,
Wow.
my dad, I think it was second grade, something like that, but they didn't pass
Wow.
elementary. I think just one of my parents, they didn't even graduate from middle school. I don't think you
Wow.
need this, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I didn't grow up with like my parents guiding me in the sense. I grew up with a lot of values that they implemented in me in my life, but I didn't have that. You can't say role model of like this is how you go to school, etc. But I did grow up with parents that has so many values, and the values that they implemented me, they helped me a lot. But you know what helped me the most? Having God in within this path.
Mm.
Um I can tell you in some moments, I just said, if I pass this class, it's just a miracle from God. And there was one way or another, like whether if it was seeking tutoring, having a classmate that would help me a lot, but God was just always there. He was always there. And if it wasn't for him, again, I don't know how I would have done it. I don't know. And then now going to like getting into my career, I didn't have the right mentor. I didn't have someone to tell me this is a path that you have to go. And I know many people that go to college, they make this mistake. They're so pressured by choosing a major I think is your sophomore year going into your junior year. If I'm not mistaken, I know it's been only a year, but I think I forgot everything already. Um, so that happened to me. I didn't have a mentor going to into my
Mhm.
major, and that has been one of the biggest mistakes I've made in my life.
Mhm.
I know it might not sound big because many people that graduate, they end up not doing what they graduated from. And that
Right.
happens to so many people.
Yeah.
And there has to be a reason why. I don't have the answer, but I can tell you what you can do before you get into it. And because I'm experiencing it now, and whatever knowledge I can give you guys or share you guys with you guys, if you guys want to direct
Yeah.
message me, I'm here to guide you
Yeah.
and save your life. Fast forward, I'm graduating. I choose my major, and I don't have a mentor. I just choose a major because I have to choose a major. I make a list and I said, okay, I don't think I have to do this. I don't think I want to do this. And then I stick within like social work. That's my major. I wanted to help people. But something like my biggest mistake was that I never asked God for guidance into where He wanted me to be. Um, and I just, chose what I thought it was good and what I thought it was okay. And because I was
Right.
pressured to choose a major, and I didn't realize that I had my talents somewhere else,
Yeah.
or God had given me gifts
Yeah.
somewhere else.
But I feel like um as we keep growing up, you know, the
Hmm.
things that we used to like perhaps are not the things that
We like
drive
now.
us,
Now.
to wake up in the morning and just go to work. Um we keep evolving,
Hmm.
as we keep growing.
I agree.
And I think that even though if you put a lot of effort into
Hmm.
this career and perhaps you are not as passionate as you were,
Hmm.
um those years don't go to waste,
Oh, of course not.
it's
Mm-mm.
something that you had to experience,
Yeah.
and it was great,
Yep.
because not only you're um creating history for your family, you're
Hmm.
leaving a legacy, for those who live, who hear your story, and for your generations to come. I
Yeah.
think it was incredible what you did, you know
Thank you.
um unlike me, you're doing an amazing job.
Thank
When
you.
it comes to that specific,
The rest, not
the
right.
rest,
I
no.
suck at the
The rest,
rest.
just kidding. No,
She's
but
like he's like
no.
specifically
Speaking,
there.
no, no, no. I'm just saying. Speaking about school, I saw you, you know, studying crazy, like crazy.
Yeah.
Endless nights,
Hmm.
writing papers and doing all that stuff, and it takes a lot of courage and takes a lot of
Thank you, babe.
time. So,
Appreciate it.
um, yeah. So my point is, we keep developing and we keep liking
Hmm.
new things
Yes.
every year,
Hmm.
so perhaps, you like something for within the next years, you're gonna like
I
to do
agree.
something new,
Yeah.
and maybe when you hit your 30s, you're gonna have
Yes.
something else in mind. I don't know.
I agree completely. I think your mind changes, and as you start, developing new connections, new paths,
Hmm.
then you just, your mind changes. Your what you like changes. One thing I can say is that I don't regret I don't regret. I do and I don't. I say I regret majoring in this because it's like, where did all my 5 years go to? But then I don't regret it because I know this major brought so many values that I can still use in other job opportunities and other career opportunities that are
Right.
definitely
Right.
gonna help me and add on to my next career path. But I want to say this. I do not believe you have to go to college to be successful. I want to say that right now.
Yeah.
Like you don't. It's like I can tell you, I know so many people that are so much more happy without a degree. Does that
Right.
make sense? Because they start following their dreams, they start following what they
Right.
love. Long story short, I graduate and I
Hmm.
realize my senior year, oh shoot, what did I get myself into? Like, are you serious, Stephanie? Anyways, I just enjoy it and I
Yeah.
apply for a couple jobs that go within my career. And I realized like every moment I was there, specific jobs, okay? Um, well, not jobs, but specifically a job that I had like within the kind of my career. Well, pretty much it was. Um, social work is very broad, right?
Hmm.
But there are some really specific. I'm not gonna go into details because no one understands this.
Right.
But that's when I realized, like, oh goodness, like I know God has given me different gifts, and I know I have to use those and embrace those. Am I gonna be tormenting myself, Stephanie, because you spent 5 years of your life in social work? Are you just gonna throw it away like that? And I said to myself, no, I'm not going to do that. And I kept
Yeah.
on being hard on myself. And I said, I have to stay
Yeah.
in the career. Going forward, I said, this is it. Like, I'm done. My happiness it's a lot more valuable than me thinking I spent 5 years for nothing. I think I've come to realize 1 year later, it has taken me a year to accept that I have to move on and leave that behind. And I had to do some of the craziest things um, to just say, I'm done. And
Yeah.
Stephanie, move forward into the next path that is in your life.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I went through like this type of mental breakdown of
Hmm.
saying and accepting the reality. But I can tell you, I'm happier than ever.
Right.
I think my wings are starting to develop and opening, and I'm ready to fly with God's strength.
Right.
And I say to everyone out there, do not be afraid to leave behind any path that you took that you say, hey, I don't belong there anymore. Like, or at least the time that you gave into that career, into that relationship, or whatever it is that you know it doesn't belong in your life anymore.
That's good.
Don't be afraid to step away and fly. I can tell you it's so scary and it's so hard to accept it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to
Yeah.
do it. And I feel like I'm more alive now than before. And for me, money is not the priority right now. For
Hmm.
me, money is what's come into like the plus of you following what you love and just following what you want to do. So I think that's where I'm at right now. Just coming
Wow.
to realize 1 year
Wow.
later, it's time for me to start
Yeah.
being happy again and
That's good.
accepting my reality. And
That's
just,
good.
I'm young and there's so much I'm going to experiment
Yeah.
and I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
And I think this is my time to actually say
Mm.
I have not graduated yet. Not yet.
That's
Mm-mm.
good. I love it. I
I
love
have the
it.
cap and gown, but I think I've only graduated from a part of my season,
Mm.
but not fully graduated.
This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
That's good. For those who are students right now and when are going through the same thing that Steph went through, make sure that you understand that you cannot have all the answers,
Hmm.
overnight. And
Of course.
also it's totally okay if you're, what is this word, indecisive or
Undecisive, yeah.
indecisive,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day it's all about social pressure.
Oh,
what if
please
we
talk
have
about that.
what if we have someone, what if we have a family or a culture that will tell us that it's completely fine to study something for x amount of years,
Yeah.
and then if you want to learn something else, go ahead and do it. There's no problem with that.
Yeah.
But when we have this social pressure that tells us, um, why do you waste all these
Time.
years
Yep.
or all the time
Hmm.
doing that? Then the story changes. I want to make sure that everyone understands that life could take turns
Oh, they
at any
hurt.
moment of time. So um, everything will be all right.
Yeah. You know something I heard from my neighbor? I was telling him about it, and he told me that one of his friends majored in a career. I'm not gonna say what career because then I'm gonna traumatize people.
Yes.
But she majored in a career, and this girl said every time I would just park in the parking lot of my office, like I felt like vomiting in that moment. I was just
Well,
done. Like I was done with this career. Like I'm
yeah.
so, and this girl went to USC. She has huge debt.
Yeah.
It's a very expensive school.
Right.
Um, and she said, I just can't do it anymore. I'm leaving. And she
Well,
left. And then he told me, and you want to know something? I met a barista, a coffee barista.
barista.
And my neighbor told her, you're very rich. And she said, oh boy, I'm not rich at all. And he said, no, you are rich because even if you're a barista, you are the happiest girl ever.
Yeah.
And that's being rich. There's
Yeah.
people that have tons of money, but they're so unhappy
Yeah.
because they're more focused on the money versus what they love to do, or
It's
they're
good.
more focused on the money because of the social pressure that you say versus the path that God really has for them. I know next week or the following week we're gonna have a girl who will be talking about something similar, right? Very soon we'll have a guest. that's going to talk about that.
Yeah.
She's going to go into detail.
Yeah.
But yes, and I said, my goodness, that's so true. Like, you're richer when you're happier. And like George said, I think when you focus on what you love to do, the
Hmm.
rest will come along and aligned.
Right.
And that's all I can say to you. Follow what you love and what makes you feel happy. If you're happy to be a barista, then go be a barista.
Yeah.
Open your shop and be a barista. You know, obviously, money is so important. It is important. I'm not going to say it's not important. It's super important. But take it step at a time and don't be hard on yourself. And I'm saying this to myself right now because if my friends hear me, they're going to say, oh, yeah, you were talking to yourself. Take a step at a time. Like, you're going to be okay. Just be happy and live. You're so young.
That's good.
And do it in a healthy way, obviously.
That's
Okay.
good.
Don't go and do crazy stuff that you shouldn't be doing, but
All right.
just be happy. And this is a season of my life when I feel like I'm more scared, but I'm excited and I'm ready to fly.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank
Of
you for sharing your
course.
story. And
Yeah.
I'm sure people are gonna love,
Yeah.
everything that you said, and I can't wait, to see you keep growing, and
Thank
see
you.
you, turn into the model in the,
Yeah. I have to lose weight for that, but
No, 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 I'm not talking about
I'm just kidding.
that. No, no, no.
That was a
I'm talking
joke.
about,
I know.
in the professional way.
I know
Yeah.
I was
So
joking. I know.
thank you guys. Thank you for listening to Angle's podcast.
One last thing. Can I say one last
Go
thing?
ahead.
Piece of advice to people who are in college or are graduated. Please, let God always be your guidance. Because I think if I wouldn't have God's peace in my heart in this moment, which I didn't have it recently, man,
Yeah.
I felt like my mind was going crazy. Like, I didn't even recognize myself. I was like, what is going on with me? Until I said, Steph, stop. Everything's going to be okay. And if I want to quit, then I quit and I go and I fly and I be happy. And that's all it matters for
That's
you
good.
to be happy, be in peace. You only have one life and another one in heaven. But we only have one life on earth. That there's so many blessings that we can take advantage of, especially those that are living in California. And even if you're not living in
Yeah.
California and you're living far away from here, there's always a way to come along, opening your heart into letting new doors open and walk into them. Don't be
That's good.
afraid. And if you walk into them and it was not what you expected, then leave. Run away and be happy. And that's all I can say.
Wow.
Just be with God and you'll
Fly.
be okay. If I would have not have God in this journey, I
It's
don't
good.
know where I would be at.
It's good.
And if I don't have him in the next chapter of my life, I don't know where I will end up. So that's
All
it.
right.
And I thank you for your support, baby.
No
in
problem.
this time
No
that it's
problem.
been hard. It's been hard,
It's great.
but I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to support.
Thank you for having me as your guest on Angles
Of course.
podcast.
All right, guys. There you have it. Steph sharing a little bit about her story.
Direct message me if you need help, tips.
through the university. So in her career. So thank you
Mhm.
very much.
Thank
And
you.
stop next week. We're gonna be having great messages.
Yep, we
Great
are.
guests. And so yeah, please don't forget to subscribe
And then you're
and
gonna say class of
to
2020.
put a like on if you're on YouTube, and if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to share this to someone who will need it or who would like to
Amen.
hear something
One last thing. You're gonna say
new.
class of 2020, and I'm gonna throw the hat and I graduated. I didn't walk on
You got
stage,
it.
but I'm gonna walk on stage in front of you guys
All
right
right.
now.
There you go. All right.
Ready? You're gonna say class of 2020, and I'm gonna toss it.
All right.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Class of 2020.
Yo.
There we go. All right,
We
guys.
did it, guys.
Take care.
We are so thankful to have you today and for letting us be part of your journey. Make sure to share with someone who needs to hear this.
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube searching Angles Podcast.
See you next week.
Ryan Little.
Friends, don't forget to like and subscribe to continue sharing this mission together. See you next time.
Maybe we'll be okay. I know that you're coming back home.